He says, you guys keep pushing the Batman with Pattinson. The movie is woke garbage. And his thing was, in the Batman, Selena Kyle is bi. Of all the things that happen in this movie, we've seen people killed in this movie. The one thing that you're picking out is, my kid's going to watch Selena Kyle and her roommate, and then they might be gay.
Well, he's not woke. He's sleep. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
dude.
for real. People have issues with certain demographics, and they hide it behind those statements. Like, you're probably homophobic, so, you go, it's too woke. Whatever, dude.
Kids learn from what they see their parents doing,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
So if your kid turns to be homophobic,
yeah,
it's probably because they're watching you.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying.
Yep. Yeah, your kid's running around telling everyone in school they're woke. All right. Welcome to Only Comics. I'm Mike. This is Adrian.
What up, man?
You're back, dude.
I am.
Back
What's
in
going
person.
on? That's it.
You're traveling around the multiverse, dude.
That's what I do.
Yep. You're a little you look like you're cold today, Adrian.
I'm just trying out some new gear.
Okay. All right.
Just picked it up and it's a little chilly today.
It is, dude. In the 60s. Not bad. Not bad. We got a lot to talk about today, Adrian. There's, 2 new shows out, one DC, one Marvel.
Yep.
I was looking back at some of our videos recently, and in the past, we have been accused of being, like, Marvel biased. Mm-hmm. But we've been on a DC kick lately, dude.
Yeah,
We've
there's that.
We've been talking about Batman stuff. We've been reviewing, the iconic Bat voice himself, Christian Bale. We've been reviewing him. We saw Penguin.
Yep.
So I did finish the episode now.
Okay.
Now, we record, and we put this out Monday, but there's a new episode that drops Sunday night, so we won't be talking about that today because we can't time travel yet.
Yeah.
We're going to work that out.
We'll get there.
We'll figure it out eventually. But, dude, first episode, I absolutely love this thing, man.
Definitely,
it was great.
Definitely.
We'll dig into a little bit later, but it was graphic. It was adult. It fit, like, it didn't feel forced. It felt like a story they should be telling us.
Right.
It felt connected enough to the Batman, but it was his own thing.
That's it.
Did you happen to check out Agatha?
I did.
All right, so we'll get into that later. I have no idea your feelings on it. And this is what I think could go either way for you. Because I wouldn't say it's the best Marvel show ever, but it was entertaining. Very seasonal, it fits the season. What else is seasonal is Deadpool and Wolverine, dude. They're getting ready to release this movie on streaming. Not on streaming, video on demand.
Okay.
So movies are like, first they're released in the theater. Then this is how they get you to pay for the same movie like 18 times.
Right.
You pay to go watch it at least once, right?
At least once.
Maybe 2 or 3. Like myself.
Some people, yeah.
Sometimes, or maybe if it's The Matrix.
Right. Or if you're one of those dicks that go in and buy up the stuff and don't even watch it, at least you're in proximity.
Absolutely. Basically, fuck those guys. So then it's released on video on demand.
Right.
So it's not going to be on Disney Plus. You go to your Google Movies, your Apple, wherever the hell you buy your movies. Right. So you pay for it again there because I'm not going to want to wait another month to watch it again, right? I'm obviously going to buy it again. And then you're subscribed to a streaming service like Disney Plus, so you're paying for it every month anyway. So they get you, dude.
Yeah. Don't you pay more for on demand? Depending on the movie. You pay like $18, $19, $24 I've seen some movies. You can rent it for like whatever. But if you want to buy it, it's actually almost double in some cases what it would be in a theater.
Oh, yeah. So I think for now on, I have to take a loan out for every movie, starting with the theater, the popcorn. But anyways, it's getting ready to drop on streaming this week. But the reason why it's in the news is they're pushing for some Oscar recognition. So,
really?
Yeah. So I guess the studios ultimately determine, who they want to submit for certain Oscar categories. Now, we've talked about Marvel and DC comic book movies and kind of their Oscar, performance in the past, if you will. If you remember, Adrian, Marvel has 4 Oscars, okay? DC has 5. The Marvel 4 Oscars, first one was for Spider-Man 2, Best Visual Effects. Second was for Big Hero 6, Best Animated Feature Film. So this is going back to 2004, 2014. Their third Oscar was for Black Panther, Best Original Score, Best Costume, Best Production Design. And then the last Oscar that Marvel received was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Best Animated Feature. Okay. So no, Best Actor supported.
Sure.
Comic book movies are kind of looked at like they're at the kiddie table.
Right.
Now, DC Superman, 1978, Christopher Reeves. Special Achievement Award for Visual Effects. 1989 Batman, Best Art Direction Oscar. One of your favorite movies, The Dark Knight, back in 2008. Best Supporting Actor, Heath Ledger, rightfully so. Best Sound Editing. Suicide Squad, Best Makeup and Hairstyle in 2016. And the Joker movie, Best Actor, Joaquin Phoenix, Best Original Score. That was 2019. So DC 5, Marvel 4. But Disney's pushing for some Deadpool Wolverine Oscar noms. So your boy,
what is it going to be, like best choreography with the Backstreet Boy move?
You know what? They didn't submit that. But what they did submit is Hugh Jackman as Best Supporting Actor. Okay. And then I believe, did Ryan Reynolds get submitted too? There was a few others, but that one was the one that stuck out. That, I mean, I don't know what else is up. Obviously, people, funny, they were a little upset last week about our comments on John Turturro,
That's okay.
It's definitely okay. The thing is, I think they don't get Only Comics, Adrian. Because it's just two of us getting together once a week and talking shit.
Right.
We're just having fun.
Right.
I have no issue with John Turturro. I don't even know the guy. You know him?
Oh, even if I did. But here's the thing. We're like, in some ways, like a soap opera.
Yeah.
We bring emotions out of people.
There
Because
you
if
go.
we didn't bring emotions out of people, they wouldn't even subscribe or even watch.
Exactly.
Or most certainly wouldn't comment. So the fact that they're subscribing,
Yep.
watching, and commenting means that they enjoy the
Right.
show. It's a love-hate relationship sometimes.
Exactly. It's almost like if you could, you can understand this. A lot of things we say here, I would argue that are a little tongue-in-cheek, if you will. A little coy, a little sarcasm. Like, we're just having fun for a couple hours. That's why this show, ultimately, one day the name will be Fun with Mike and Adrian.
One day.
One day. But for right now, it's Only Comics, where we discuss comics and only comics.
And like this, some other stuff
Other stuff. But could you see Hugh Jackman, winning a Oscar award for Best Supporting Actor? No, they're probably not going to give it to him. I mean, it's cute, but
Sure.
I think we're at that point where the audience, most of the audience, I don't think they look at comic book movies as comic book movies.
Right.
But a lot of the critics and the academies and all these people that ultimately determine these, prestigious awards, I think they still do.
I would go as far as to say that some people might look at comic book movies and comics in general as like real life. Like maybe they can't even separate themselves. But anyway, that's a whole different thing.
Yep. But you know what? I'd be okay with Hugh Jackman winning, Best Supporting Actor.
Right. Well, again, I'm a little tongue-in-cheek on my response.
Okay.
However, but it's just cool that they're pushing that envelope. And really there's no one better to get it than him if it did happen. So
Yep. So
yeah,
you'd have my vote.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Episode 1 of Agatha. So 3 episodes came out.
Yep.
Right from the last time we talked about, or they dropped 2 the first week, and then there was a new one this past week.
I think it's 4 now.
Is it?
Yeah, it's 4 now because I've seen 3.
Okay. Well, the 4th comes out this week. Maybe.
Whatever.
Yeah. All I know is I've seen 3 of them.
Right.
But the first episode conjures up 9.3 million views in its first week on Disney Plus. So,
okay. What does that equate to in Rotten Tomatoes or whatever?
Who knows? Yeah, what's the score up to now? They already changed it once.
Right.
But first 7 days, 9.3 million views, pretty good.
Okay.
I mean, it seems like a lot of views. And now there was really no bar. I guess most recent, Percy Jackson, The Olympians, and The Acolyte managed, and these are Star Wars show and another show, managed to get 14 million views. Those are pretty big. But so Disney seems to be happy with this. Now, the article I was reading, they opened up with this statement: "Who asked for this?" We say that sometimes.
Yep.
Right? Like, who asked for this shit? Now, Agatha, I wouldn't say that about this show because we saw her in WandaVision. I think there was enough interest in this character, and it seems like from the rumors, it's not a standalone show. It ties directly into WandaVision and may lead into the Vision series. So I wouldn't apply that label to this show. Who asked for this? But 9.3 million views. I enjoyed it, dude. I mean, we'll do a little deeper dive later. But you saw the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about it overall?
It was okay. The only thing that I found distracting was why is everybody walking around like they got like what's that silicone injections in their lips and stuff. it's like what's going on with that? So that was a little distracting.
Okay.
Outside of that, I thought it was too comic-y.
Yep.
But I mean, it's a decent storyline.
Yeah.
They got all the players in there. The actress, she's pretty cool. I'm still trying to get her out of the Bad Moms movie thing and into this film because this is actually the first time I've seen her outside of that movie. But I think it will track well.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely has some campiness to it, but I agree. The story is pretty intriguing. I like the horror elements. I do. Like, it's not a straight-up horror show, but it has some of that, you got the freaking dude walking backwards down the stairs and all that creepy shit. So visually it looks cool. Yeah. And there's a lot of practical effects, too. Like, it's not just a CGI fest, which is cool.
And there are a lot of tie-ins to WandaVision too, like when they walked out in the house and the house is gone.
Yep.
And somebody wrote "witch" or something on it.
Yep.
So definitely some tie-ins there. If you don't understand what that means, just go back and watch WandaVision.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, I mean 9.3 million. Kudos, good job, Agatha. The Penguin also had a huge debut. So those 9.3 million views for Agatha was worldwide. Penguin had the best launch on, this was just the first 4 days, the best 4-day launch on HBO or on Max since The Last of Us in 2023. Wow. Have you seen that show, The Last of Us?
I have.
Phenomenal with
upcoming Reed Richards boy.
That's right, yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, even that was a part, too, where he kind of looked the part, but it was like, why they got this guy? And he knocked it out of the park. He embodied that. Now, you've not played the game The Last of Us.
No.
Because it's not Ratchet and Clank. They're not in the game.
Exactly.
So, if they were in it, would you play it?
No.
No, okay.
Dude, I literally bought the game. My grandson, for whatever reason, thought I bought it for him, and I have not touched it since. I touched it once since. I played Ratchet and Clank once.
It's like backwards. You got to ask him permission to play. But I've played The Last of Us, and you guys let us know. We don't talk about video games a lot on here, but if anyone's played The Last of Us 2, I think I've not finished the second one. I played the first one a few times. It's a phenomenal game.
And I think they're getting ready to drop a season 2.
They are,
The Last of Us. Yeah,
it was a trailer recently. I don't know if you saw,
I have not seen the trailer. Okay. I saw it. I saw the little thumbnail on Showtime or whatever it's playing on.
Yep.
I bounce between all the things. I have no idea what I'm watching.
But anyway, when you're scrolling for 10 minutes to find something to watch, and then you just go to bed.
Exactly.
But the Penguin currently sits at 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay. So very
Wait a minute. So how do we get a $99.3 million view from Agatha, but we get a 9.4 Rotten Tomato score out of Penguin? I mean, these are TV shows.
Yep. Well, the viewership for the Penguin, now this is just domestic in the first 4 days, so you really can't compare this to the Agatha number, but Penguin, 5.3 million views in the U.S. alone in the first 4 days. So I would assume if you got the whole week worldwide, this thing would probably be up there too.
Okay.
So 2 big debuts for both Marvel and DC this past week. So kudos to DC finally doing something.
Right.
And there's some shit, DC in the news, and people are watching their stuff, and it's a good show.
And it's not a logo reveal.
Yep, it's not a logo reveal. We were talking last week a little bit about this Matt Reeves universe. Like, what are they calling it? Because it does not connect to James Gunn's DCU, where we got that new Superman movie coming out next year. Right. This is its standalone universe. It's called the Batman Epic Crime Saga. I think we need to work on that name a little bit. Does that just roll off the tongue?
It does not. I did notice that they changed. Did they change the name of Agatha again before they rolled it out? It's Agatha
all
something.
Along. It's
Agatha. All along. Right.
Yeah.
But then they got the chapters. They break it down, and it's just crazy name stuff. But no, that does not roll off the tongue at all.
I mean, this is probably the worst thing about this universe so far, because the movie for me is great. The show's been great, but Matt Reeves, this name is, we got it. Let's bring it back to the drawing board. I mean, Batman Epic. Like, imagine, we say MCU, the DCU. Imagine me just going, Adrian, what's your favorite, the Batman Epic Crime Saga movie? It sounds ridiculous.
Right.
But hey, it is what it is. Moving on. Patrick Stewart, Adrian, is rumored to make a return.
Oh, man. This is going to be something.
As Professor Xavier, believe it or not, in Avengers Secret Wars. Now, initially, when I heard this news, I was cringing, similar to how you are right now. Mm-hmm. But I decided to sprinkle a little positivity on this message. Okay? So
that happens.
Here's my thought, or I guess my hope, my wish. Mm-hmm. We saw in Deadpool and Wolverine how you can manage multiple cameos, even short cameos, effectively, and not feel forced and wasted. I hope that Patrick Stewart being featured, if this rumor is true, I hope it's in one of those brief, short, impactful cameos. Not like in the Doctor Strange movie when he's killed in 14 seconds, but it does make sense for him to be in there. Mm-hmm. I know you're going to say he's a crypt keeper, most likely. Right. But I hope it's just something short, sweet, and because it's Secret Wars and it's probably going to be the biggest cameo fest we've ever seen on screen, I'm okay with it, and I think it makes sense.
Sure. Again, I agree that hopefully it's something short.
Yeah.
Because, more than 3 or 4 seconds, and you start seeing things, and you be like, start feeling bad about it, and so on and so forth. But I also agree that this next movie is going to be a cameo fest.
Yeah,
I mean, it's going to have everything in it.
Yep, absolutely.
But unlike so Secret Wars was select superheroes from different universes coming together, not multiple ones. Infinite Wars in DC was multiple characters from multiple universes.
Oh yeah,
together.
multiple versions of the same one. Yeah. That's right.
So like you'd have a Christopher Reeve Superman. You have a Nick Cage Superman. Darth Vader Superman.
Yep.
Tom
Cruise.
Tom Cruise Superman. So. But that's
Tom
not the
Hardy,
case.
big old Tom Hardy.
but that's not the case in Secret Wars.
No.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so
you're not going to have like all the different flavors of
not
Professor
all of them.
X.
No. Now, there's 2 Secret Wars, right? We went through both of them.
Right.
The I think the one you're talking about is the original one is where it's one version of each character. Mm-hmm. In the more recent Secret Wars, more recent, it's 10 years old now, 2015. Yeah, we're getting old, Adrian. That's some shit.
You getting old. I'm already there.
You're already there. I'm catching up. Wait for me.
Right.
But the more recent one, 2015, there are maybe 2 variants at most because it's the 2 universes colliding, the incursion.
Sure.
And then like we see 2 versions of Reed Richards. We see the Maker, which is almost the evolved evil version of Reed Richards, and then we see your normal Mr. Fantastic.
Right.
So I could see, maybe we see both Charles Xaviers. Maybe we see James McAvoy. Well, that's also the younger one. So
it's interesting that they chose Patrick Stewart, though, as opposed to, I mean, it's been a while since X-Men been out. I mean, McAvoy's aged a little bit, right? So when Stewart came out, he was still old.
He was old.
But
he was just always old.
But he was old back in Star Trek.
Right.
So, but I'm just curious that they chose Stewart as opposed to McAvoy to represent Xavier in this.
Right. But yeah, if it's, as long as he's not like the one leading the charge in the movie, like he should not be the focal point.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman's rumored to be back. So, I mean, there's a lot of things. This has potential to have some really cool moments on screen.
Right.
I mean, seeing Charles Xavier, Patrick Stewart's version, and Hugh Jackman interact again would be cool.
Right.
Seeing, potentially seeing Hugh Jackman's Wolverine interact with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Right.
Be something cool to see.
Which Magneto you think is going to roll up in there? Is it going to be silver-haired, slaying all the ladies?
Ian
McKellen.
But he's old now.
Yeah.
I think he's in his 80s.
Well, Stewart is too, right?
Stewart is too, but he sits in a wheelchair,
Oh, not too far to fall.
Exactly.
Kind of thing.
You know what I'd like to see? A Fassbender version, but Fassbender's also older now with the gray hair.
Oh.
It'd be cool.
Okay.
But, I mean, they have to have a Magneto in Secret Wars, or they should, anyway.
Right.
The one thing I really hope we get God Emperor Doom in Secret Wars.
Right.
Now if Robert Downey Jr. is playing Doom in 2 movies, I think that is good enough time for us. The first movie to get acquainted with Dr. Doom himself,
right,
and then in Secret Wars see him become this God Emperor Doom,
right.
Because you're gonna need a villain of that caliber to justify having all of these heroes.
Right.
Like why you need heroes from different universes and bringing Patrick Stewart back and all this other shit. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this movie, Secret Wars, and I mean, who knows if this rumor's true? You never know. He also was rumored to be in Deadpool and Wolverine, and it didn't happen. So I guess you never really know.
Right.
Up next, Thunderbolts trailer. We were just checking this out before we got on today, Adrian. This is a movie that I'm not gonna lie. When I first heard about it, I think I had that statement. Who's asking for this? I think I said that. But now after seeing this recent trailer, dude, I think I'm asking for it, dude. I think it was pretty good. How'd you feel about the trailer?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. I was actually impressed.
Yeah.
I caught by surprise would be more accurate, because I didn't expect this to be. I thought it was going to be like more Suicide Squad, which is kind of what do you call it?
Campy, yeah.
Yes, but it was not that.
No.
So
and it. There's a lot. It leads to a lot of questions. We saw this guy Bob, who I've learned by reading online is actually Sentry, and he gets rid of the scrubs, and he does have the Sentry costume at some point, according to the actor playing him. But there's a lot of I like that you don't know what the hell's going on.
Right.
We've talked about a lot of times with trailers, like you get the whole damn movie.
Right.
This, we just know that you get all these kind of obscure, almost villain / anti-hero characters, right, from other movies.
Right.
You got Yelena, Black Widow's sister. Florence Pugh plays Yelena, who I like the character. I think she does a pretty good job.
She looks like that girl that played in she was in that movie with Nick Cage where he was going around being a vigilante. And he trained her up. I forget the name of the movie. She was also in a movie with Denzel Washington. One of the movies he's going around killing people. But she looked like I took a double take.
Okay.
So she looked so much like this other girl.
Yeah.
But
I've enjoyed her character. She's been in the Black Widow movie. She was in the Hawkeye show and then the Echo show briefly. And then you have Bucky, obviously, from the Captain America movies. You got U.S. Agent, I forget, John Walker, maybe. I forget the character's real name. But anyway, he's from the Captain America Winter Soldier show.
Okay.
Remember he smashes the guy's face with the shield? Yeah.
Yep.
And it looks like he's kind of retired. He's got a kid.
Yep.
Right? So
bored to death.
Yeah, bored, like what the hell am I doing with my life? I mean, I guess you're out pretending to be Captain America, killing people with shields, and now you're like babysitting your own kids. It's a little different,
I like that they brought back Ghost.
Yes.
From Ant-Man.
Yep.
So that was pretty cool.
I always felt like those phasing powers look really cool on screen. Especially now that the character has them under control.
Yeah.
Taskmaster, who they've changed a lot for the movies, but we get to see Taskmaster there. And I don't know, dude. It seems like Bucky is I'm getting Winter Soldier vibes, bro.
Yeah.
Like is he under mind control again?
He looks angry.
He does, right? Very different from the show.
Right.
Because when he was in the show, he was kind of like a regular guy again, just hanging out, going to therapy,
Yeah.
So, I am more, as they say, intrigued.
I would be upset, too. Somebody took my arm.
For real. After seeing this trailer, dude, I'm more interested. Oh, how do you feel about the Red Guardian, the fat dude?
He's funny, but definitely not. Zero representation from the comic.
No. That nice little comic relief.
Sure.
But yeah, this movie, I think I went from being like a -1 interest level to I'm a probably good solid 6.5, 7, dude.
Okay,
I'm looking forward to it. Marvel seems to. I do think I feel like they had a little bit of a reset recently. Like when they first started talking about these movies and the stuff that we heard and saw early on did not get great feedback. And they went on this run of they did joke about it in Deadpool and Wolverine, miss after miss after miss. But, dude, you're going to you have to get off course sometimes and course correct, and I think that's what they've done. And I guess we'll see that next year, because all these movies, you got Captain America coming out in February. You got this. It's next year. I forget when. You got the Fantastic Four movie. So there's a lot on the horizon, as they say.
I mean, I think they've had enough time. I mean, it's like, the government, right? They've had enough time to figure out how to manipulate people. So, and I'm not saying, Disney and other people are manipulating people. What I'm saying is they've had enough runs, especially in the last few years, where they put out shit, right?
Right.
To understand what the audience wants. So it's almost like, let's vomit as much stuff out as we can, as quickly as we can. We'll get the reaction from the public, and then we'll decide what it is that makes people go to the movies. So it feels kind of like they did that, because the stuff that they're coming out now is more consistent. It has depth. It has, width. And it's interesting stories. Like the Penguin, dude. Amazing. I just forgot it was a Batman movie after the first couple of seconds.
Yep.
So that's the kind of stuff that I think that they discovered over the last few years by just dumping this massive movies out.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked a little bit about Secret Wars earlier. There's a rumor that Scarlet Witch will play a major role in this movie.
You mean dead Scarlet Witch?
I mean,
allegedly.
She can come. She's a witch, though. So
we got to talk about that in Agatha, because there was a moment in there when she said something about that.
Oh yeah, about her being dead. Yeah.
Well, not specifically Wanda.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, she's a witch. It's Marvel.
Yep.
She'll be back.
Sure.
And I we talked about this last week. I want to see that Magneto Scarlet Witch dynamic on screen. We see a lot in the comics. And I just think there's so much more they can do with that character. Which
goes to show they can bring back whoever they want to. Her brother, no, he's not coming back from the bullet holes.
That's messed up.
T'Challa, the trillionaire, no, he's not coming back for other reasons. But, Wanda, we can bring her back.
Absolutely. That is, Petro, however you say, he got the shit end of the stick, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he just got shot a few times. She got blown up in the mountain by Doctor Strange and Wong and all that shit. And we're like, she'll be back in a couple weeks.
Just show a little red light somewhere, and that's her recovering.
Quicksilver, who is faster than a speeding bullet, right? I mean,
apparently not.
Yeah, apparently not. He couldn't handle a few shots. Like, come on, dude. Yeah, that was messed up. He's definitely the weaker.
I mean, however, technically, those rounds should have obliterated him, not just put holes in him. But anyway,
true.
Besides the fact that he should have ran around him. Anyway.
Yeah. Yep. But so there was one of these inside sources, these scoopers here. They say that they say take it with a grain of salt, because some of these guys, they are full of shit at times, but their plan is to have Scarlet Witch play a major role in Doomsday. And then one of the comics they mentioned, I've never read this, but there's Avengers, the Children's Crusade. So if any of y'all check this out, let us know. In that comic, Victor sets out to marry Wanda, who had forgotten her past. Now, I saw a rumor not too long ago.
Victor
Von Doom.
Oh, okay.
I mean, why not?
Can't have Sue, so
right?
I mean,
Let that one go and scoop up Wanda. I mean, she forgot her past.
There you go. Isn't that like it's definitely taking advantage of somebody, but there's a legal word for you take advantage of somebody that doesn't remember who they are or something.
Oh,
like that.
Yeah, that's called being Diddy, the diddler. You give them drugs, they don't know who they are, you take advantage of them.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. I always wondered, because he's also called the Diddler, which, the Riddler, the Diddler, what his superpower was. Okay. There it is. So
baby oil.
Yeah, baby oil. It's the baby oil that gets him, dude. Yo, his lawyer, this has nothing to do with anything, but right. We're talking about it. Did you see his lawyer's response?
No.
So the guy from TMZ, I think Harvey or whatever his name is, was interviewing Diddy's lawyer, and he's like, "Why has he got $1,000?" He's asking, and he's like, "Oh, he didn't really have that much." The guy's like, "No, they in the indictment they said they counted him," and he goes, "Well, Diddy has a house. He has a few houses, and by all of his houses, there's a Costco." and he buys in bulk. That was the explanation. Oh, wow. Costco came out and said, no, it ain't. We don't even carry baby oil.
Now, it's like the response from, what was it, DC about him dressing up as Riddler.
Oh, yeah.
So when a corporation of that size goes personal and like, dude, you can't dress up as, I mean, they want everybody to dress up as their characters, but they tell Diddy that he can't dress up as a character. And then Costco comes out and says, dude, we don't even sell this shit that you stocking up in your house.
Right.
You've done some bad stuff.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah.
Allegedly.
And now here's the other thing. That's the lawyer that you hired?
Right.
That's the guy that's going to keep you out of jail?
Right. If you can't get that research right.
Dude, the TMZ guy called your bluff.
Right.
And then Costco called your bluff. Like, come on, dude. Yeah, your ass is going to jail, bro. Right, you staying. But anyways.
That's the other stuff.
That's the other stuff. Yeah. What's that to do with comics? Nothing. Nothing at all.
Zero.
Nope. But anyways, that falls under the umbrella of Fun with Mike and Adrian.
There you go.
Okay. So last piece of news: Deadpool and Wolverine passes Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, and becomes the 21st highest grossing movie of all time. And then its digital debut, which we talked about earlier, on October 1st. Not only that, they also, so you got the movie in the theaters, right? You got the digital debut. They still release physical movies, by the way. There's these collector, like, steel books, and they come with all this other extra shit. So that comes out October 22nd. Then I would imagine probably, like, November it comes out on streaming. So you get to buy this thing fucking 8 times by the time you're done. Yeah. Crazy.
So did we predict like 1.4 or something?
Yes, we did.
Where are they now?
So they are, it's a great question, Adrian. They have grossed $1.31 billion globally. So you think they'll pick up that extra in the next couple of weeks? Possibly. Yeah. So we may have been wrong. We may have been wrong.
Hey, it's okay.
I think we have to cancel the show now that we were wrong for the first time.
That's it. Or just switch to do what corporations do when they mess up. Just change the name.
Change the name. There you go. Yep. Then we really will launch Fun with Mike.
Right, there you go.
Speaking of changing things, so this is something that I guess first time we're talking about it here on the show is pretty soon. I would assume, Adrian, within the next month, we're going to switch from doing an on-demand podcast to doing a live show every week.
There we go.
So it'll be Monday nights. So Monday, I say night Monday about 5-ish, we'll hop on, we'll shoot this thing live, we'll interact with people live. So instead of doing a We Respond, y'all can just comment while we're on the show. You can distract us while we're trying to talk, So
we gonna have studio people helping,
maybe
or not. We still fetching our own coffee.
Yeah.
Running programs.
I know. Do you have coffee over there today?
Something over there.
Something. Is it from your favorite spot?
It is not.
Okay.
I actually had to brew it myself.
Damn, they messed you up the other day, dude. You had the Batman voice going almost.
I don't know what that was. I really gotta stop, dude, because that cream. Whatever.
Yep. You know what? This is what happens though. We used to give you guys a shout out. Now we're gonna shit all over you. Don't go get Dunkin'. I'm talking shit. I got like a bunch of shit from Dunkin' yesterday morning on the way back from the barbershop.
Right. It's like addictive, dude.
Yeah, it really is. But Deadpool Wolverine passing. So Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom was above Deadpool. You seen that movie? I think it's the second one of the newer ones.
I don't remember.
It's bad.
I don't know. Is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Women is bad, but it made that kind of money?
Yeah. He does some shit.
People love prehistoric shit, I guess.
They do. Yep, that's why they're bringing, Patrick Stewart back. So,
wow.
Anyway, someone's gonna be so upset. You can't believe you did that. Why would you say that about him? It's a joke, dude. It's a fucking joke. Everybody, calm down. Just messing around. I love Patrick Stewart. He's a great guy. Well, I don't know him, but right. He's a great actor.
Sure.
I got nothing against him. Someone's like, you insulted him. I didn't insult John Turturro. Anyway,
you'd have to talk to John Turturro personally in order to insult him. Come on.
Unbelievable. I think what the problem is, Adrian, is we've gotten a little soft as a society.
Listen, we got to have awards, first place to 20 place.
Right.
Give out the purple award to everybody.
21st place awards.
There you go.
No, dude, you're number 20th.
Right.
But anyway.
It's like, why even compete, dude?
Exactly.
We got the top 3 slots.
Yeah.
if everybody's going to get an award, why even bother competing?
Right. Nope. You know, one of my favorite things my son did, he was on this basketball league once, and the team sucked, dude. They were atrocious. And they had an awards banquet. Everyone got an award. They won like one game. He got his award. He's like, let's go. And they were still giving out other like bullshit awards. And he threw it in the trash on the way. And I'm like, you don't want it? He's like, no, dude, we suck. We won one game. Like, what do I want the fucking award for?
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? It was a proud moment as a dad, Adrian. But anyways, thumbs up, thumbs down. This is where we recap the news and we just give it a simple thumbs up, thumbs down. So
let's do it.
Disney pushing for Deadpool Wolverine Oscar recognition, including Hugh Jackman for Best Supporting Actor. It's a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Even though he's probably not going to win because the Oscar's a bunch of haters. But anyways.
His vein will win.
Yeah, can he get an award for Best Vein? Best arm vein?
Yeah.
Episode 1 of Agatha hits 9.3 million 9.3 million views in 7 days in streaming. Give that a thumbs up.
Sure, thumbs up.
Comic show world is booming. The Penguin has a huge debut on HBO with over biggest 4-day launch since The Last of Us, 5 million views in a few days. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Patrick Stewart rumored to return as Professor Xavier in Avengers Secret Wars. I'll give this a thumbs up.
Sure. I mean, if he's still living, I mean, he's got to eat too, right?
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
Do something to bring the money home.
Yep. New Thunderbolts trailer drops. We see a bunch of shit that's all coming together. Everyone's trying to kill each other. A bunch of confusion, and seems like it's gonna be a pretty good movie. I guess a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Who's Bob? Anyway, we'll get to that.
Yeah. Scarlet Witch rumored to have a huge role in Secret Wars. If this is true, I'm giving this a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
We're going thumbs up across the board. Right. Last one. Let's see. Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah. Passes Jurassic World and becomes the 21st highest grossing movie of all time. Thumbs up. Get that Jurassic World shit out of there.
Sure. Yeah. Thumbs up.
All right. There we are. Thumbs up across the board, Adrian.
Yo, has that ever happened before? I think
maybe like once, a long time ago. No, we're just, we're feeling positive today.
There you
Adrian.
go. There you go.
So
the leaves are finally showing.
They are
changing, so I'm happy about that.
It is, dude. You don't sweat your ass off just walking out to your car. That's cool. Next up, hit or miss cast, Adrian.
Let's do it.
So this is where I throw out 5 casting choices from the past, and Adrian lets me know, in his opinion, if these are a hit or a miss. Number 1, Catherine Hahn is Agatha.
Because I've never seen. Yes,
hit.
Yes, hit.
Yeah, I like it. Now, are you familiar with the Agatha character in the comics as much or no?
Not the young version.
Okay.
The only Agatha I've ever seen, and I was having this discussion with my wife earlier, is the old white-haired, wheelchair-bound Agatha. Okay. Right? And she was mostly associated. Yeah. She was mostly associated with Spider-Man.
You thinking of Madam Web?
Huh?
Are you thinking Madam Web?
Possibly.
Okay. He said wheelchair. I'm thinking Madam Web.
Agatha.
She's always been with Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange.
Okay. So I retract all of that.
we'll cut that out.
No. I'm not familiar with that.
Got
with
it.
Agatha.
Maggie Gyllenhaal as Rachel Dawes.
Miss.
Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face.
Miss.
Florence Pugh as Yelena.
Hit.
Dakota Johnson as Madam Web.
Miss.
This dude almost all miss. No, 3 misses, 2 hits. And I think I agree with you across the board. Catherine Hahn, Agatha Hit, Maggie Gyllenhaal. I did not like her Rachel Dawes.
No, not at all, dude.
I didn't know though that your favorite part of that movie is where she dies. Of all the stuff that happens.
It was like a relief more than the best part of the movie. It was like, let's just get her out here. Now she also played, interestingly enough, a what's that chick that played Madam Web?
Dakota Johnson.
Yep. She also played in a movie like that. She was a Gyllenhaal. She was a secretary. And the guy was into like BDSM and all this other kind of stuff. So that's interesting. She was more of a fit there than she was as Rachel Dawes. I'll put it that way.
Gotcha. Yeah, what's funny? You say it was like a relief. we're in this Halloween season almost, right? Mm-hmm. Are you a horror movie guy?
Not really.
No, you're not Michael Myers, Jason, all that shit. No.
No, I'm eternally scarred. But those were really the only movies. So people don't understand. Besides streaming, right? Mm-hmm. So you got a bazillion movies that's coming out on streaming. Then you got the on-demand stuff. Back in the day, you had to wait a year almost before a movie went from big screen, no streaming, to like VHS.
Yeah.
Right? Now, within a couple of months, is going to some kind of on-demand service, right? Mm-hmm. So back in the day when I was growing up, when a movie came out, you saw it because there was probably one of the 3 movies that was going to come out this year across every genre.
Yeah, it wasn't
right?
nearly as many.
Yeah, it's not like you got 15 comic book movies and mm-hmm. 13 horror movies and 12 of this and 2 of that. It was like, okay, we got 3 movies coming out this year. Go watch them.
Right.
And Michael Myers, Jason, Friday the 13th. That is Jason.
Freddy.
Freddy.
Yep.
What else?
Boy, Chucky.
Chucky. I'm just scarred, dude. So no horror movie. I'll watch them.
Yeah.
But
okay.
The best horror movie I've actually seen lately is WER.
Okay.
It's incredible movie.
Yep. What about like ghost stuff, like Conjuring, shit like that, haunted house type stuff?
My wife don't flow with it, so I don't even bother.
Gotcha. I like the slasher movies, like the old school. We were watching the Halloween, one of the newer ones, the first movie of the new trilogy that came out. I think this was maybe 2017, 18, something like that. And that was the best one of the 3. It was good. But the reason I thought of that was you said, Maggie or Rachel Dawes dying in this movie was a relief.
Right.
A lot of times in the horror movies, I'm rooting for the bad guy because they write the character. They're so annoying.
Right.
It's like, just fucking kill this guy already, please, for the love of God. Yeah.
Right.
So that was a connection.
Like the whole crew ran into the barn with all the hanging knives. There's actually a commercial.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, really? Just kill them all.
Let's hide here next to the chainsaws, that one, yeah. Yeah, but I find myself rooting for Michael Myers. Like, can you just cut this chick's head off, please? Shut her the fuck up, Right.
Were you ever into, like, the Amityville Horror, Damien,
I've not seen those,
things like that? What?
Nope. Wow. Damn, I just feel judged in here, Adrian. Wow. It's like you're gonna cancel me.
Classic, man. Classics. Yep. You gotta watch them.
Okay. I'm a big Chucky guy, dude. Chucky's my boy.
Okay.
Anyway, so let us know what's your favorite Halloween movie. Like, so there's nothing like this. You said this last week. You're not like getting in the Halloween vibe. You'll get in the Christmas vibe and watch some Christmas movies.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice is always one of my favorites to throw on this time of year.
I got the memory. Because some things, the more you watch, like a Beetlejuice, you watch it once and you enjoy it, you move on.
Okay.
And then they come out and they try to do something like a part 2, and they typically mess it up.
Yeah.
So things like, Wolverine, Deadpool. You watch it because there's things that you missed that you're interested in going back and seeing again. There's nothing in Beetlejuice I want to go back and see again. Damn. And I most certainly don't want to see a remake of it, which is they're typically going to make it bad.
No, I can confirm because I saw it. You don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Nope, you don't. Save the time. Matter of fact, watch the old one instead of the new one. There you go.
Wow.
All right, Agatha. Let's talk about Agatha a little bit. I saw the first 3 episodes. It starts off as like one of those murder shows.
Right.
She's playing this like wacky ass cop that's like angry. That was pretty funny.
It was, dude. She looked beat up.
Yes.
Boy. I was like, wow, did they do that intentionally, or she just looks like that now? But no.
And then we learned that, in typical, I guess, WandaVision fashion, she's under Wanda's spell. Because if you remember, they fought in WandaVision towards the end, and she, I guess, put a spell on her, Scarlet Witch, as powerful as she is, and she's still under this spell years later. And then we find out with the reveal with the teen who, she has trapped in her house, basically. He undoes the spell. And we don't know his name, though. Remember we were talking about that last week?
Yeah.
Now, I've heard a rumor that he is Wiccan, I guess the name is, which is actually one of Scarlet, depending on what comic you're reading, one of Wanda's children. Maybe her real child or the ones that she created, with her own powers or whatnot. So that's the rumor. Just like the we were talking last week about Lady Death. You now saw that. So I forget her name in the show, but she is rumored to be Lady Death, the one who fights Agatha and then ends up leaving.
Okay. Yep.
That's how I explain it here. She fights her, ends up leaving. You know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
But I like the twist early on. I thought it was cool. I like this dynamic with the kid.
Sure.
And seeing all the different witches. She goes to see the one who's a psychic.
Right.
And then she finds the girl with like a hot topic, which is just pretty funny.
Right.
But dude, overall, I like the vibe. It does, but again, I'm big on the Halloween season, so it fits that. What about you? What'd you like? What didn't you like?
I like the opening scene when she was a detective.
Yeah.
That kind of fits my vibe.
Yeah.
It went kind of downhill after that.
Yeah.
Because it was trying to be too funny, I think. The kid dynamic was interesting. The fact that she couldn't hear or even read his lips at some times, right? His name or anything about him.
Oh yeah, when he was telling her about or she was asking him like about who he is, and it
like
was
where
just
you
muffled.
from or something.
Yep.
And everything was muffled.
Yeah.
So that was pretty interesting. Going around and recruiting all the witches. That was kind of funny, especially the psychic one.
Yeah.
And I don't think the last one ever got into it. She just kind of went along because she thought it was just
the
a
neighbor.
party.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's actually going to be useful at some point.
Well, she died in the one episode. The end. You remember they're at the house and drinking the wine and shit?
So why is she back now?
No, she died in I think the third episode of Agatha. I think that's where it ended. Yeah.
No.
No?
She didn't die. She was on the road with them at the end.
Oh, so maybe you didn't. Did you not see the third one?
Possibly.
Okay.
I saw the last one I saw was the seven had came to the house and they went down underneath the basement.
Yeah.
They created the door.
Yeah.
And then they went down into they got to the witch's road.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So you still got one more to watch so I spoiled it for you. She dies.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah. So that confirms what I said. She's useless.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
But hey, it's Marvel. It's a witch. Maybe she'll come back. Who the hell knows?
Right.
Oh, so you haven't seen when they get to the house and there's their first test?
No.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, whatever.
Yep. All right. So I think I would say stay tuned, Adrian. It gets better.
Okay.
It gets better. And it still does have that campy vibe here and there, but there's more of a horror element as they go down this witch's road.
Okay.
It kind of feels like a little Hocus Pocus, a little Craft, and a little bit of Wizard of Oz ish.
Okay.
I
mean, I'm at a point now. I'm kind of on the fence, so I'm not saying it's like Madam Web.
Oh God, no.
But it's not Deadpool either.
Right.
Right. So I could be turned either way. So that's good.
And then we'll have another episode of The Penguin to watch real soon. Actually tonight. That show, dude. We touched on this a little bit. You said this earlier, like you almost forget you're watching a Batman show.
Right.
Like
no, literally after the intro.
Yeah.
When he's standing in the window and the news is showing how Gotham got flooded and after that, Batman was gone in my mind.
Right.
Dude.
Right. But it also makes sense because what he's doing is so under the radar. Like Batman wouldn't even know about this shit.
Right. But Penguin is at the street boy level.
Yes.
I mean, he's street corner level. He's over guys on the corners selling drugs and stuff. So he's way down.
Yeah. So it makes perfect sense because sometimes you see shit like this is one of the I think critiques about the MCU. You got Spider-Man in his own movie fighting like in Coney Island, Vulture. How come the Avengers aren't over there?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I understand it's his movie, but if you're trying to like trying to rationalize the situation.
Right.
They see this shit, fucking things blowing up, fighting. Dude, they'd be over there in a heartbeat. This makes sense because, like you said, it's so street level. This isn't even hitting Batman's radar.
Right.
He's still dealing with the outcome of the Riddler blowing up the damn seawalls of that's a much bigger issue than, Penguin selling drops to these guys or killing someone and, hiding the body. Like, no one knows about this shit.
Yeah.
I really like Sophia Falcone's character.
Yeah.
And it seems like we're going to see, quite the, I guess, war brew between Oz and Falcone. I feel like by the end of this, Penguin's going to be that Kingpin level of villain, which will make sense because then he'll get back on Batman's radar.
Right. And the girl will be the Falcone.
Yeah.
In this show.
Unless she ends up dead.
Or that.
There could be that. Yo, he smokes Alberto.
But she's giving me that Lady Gaga vibe.
Okay.
So
yeah. But he smoked Alberto, dude, in the beginning of
that was such a I misspoke I think last week. It wasn't I referenced a mob movie.
Yeah.
And I think I said it was Casino, but it's not. I think it's some other movie. Yeah. But anyway, it's where the short guy
Goodfellas?
I think it's Goodfellas.
When he beats the shit out of the guy?
Yeah, he gets all pissed off at the waiter. First he shoots him.
Yeah.
So he's hobbling around still serving them. But then he says something else smart, and guy just
Spider.
Yeah,
it's the kid it's Chris from The Sopranos.
Okay.
Yep. Yes, you're right. He's like the low man on the totem pole,
yeah.
and he says something, and they instigate it. Yeah, he shoots him in the fucking foot.
Yeah.
Then he ends up killing him.
Yep. So it reminded me of that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a mob movie.
Yeah.
And it's a very good mob movie.
Absolutely.
But I'm also like, is this what's his face? Actor.
Oh, Colin Farrell.
I'm like, I mean, as a matter of fact, there's so much attention on the makeup because it looks so realistic and it's so transformative that people are just amazed at it. I mean, I'm half the movie. I'm like, I'm trying to get past the makeup, dude.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's really good. His accent's good.
Yep.
And just how he embodies that character. I mean, Colin Farrell, perfect casting choice for this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love how well they did the city of Gotham in this. Like, I know, we already have it established in the movie, but in the movie, it's different. There's certain sets that now we get to see real street level, a lot more of the buildings, a lot more of like, and it's a show, it's longer.
Right.
Like, we got, I think it's 8 or 10 episodes. They're all over an hour, so you're going to see a lot more of the city. And we talked about that when we did our Dark Knight trilogy review. One of my major lows was the way Gotham looked. It just looked like any American city in the country.
Right.
This looks like Gotham. It has that feel.
I think over time, as Batman is introduced, Gotham is going to get darker, though.
Yeah. I mean, at least when we see Batman, it's always at night. So I think that's the difference, too. Is the Penguin, we see him during the day.
Right.
And
well, I mean, he's on demand right now.
Yep.
So I think that'll also change. We'll see more dark scenes because he's going to move up. Therefore, he doesn't need to be at the street level. So we'll probably see less of him during the day, which will also be where Batman plays.
Right. It's funny, is both of these shows, you got a villain and you got a young kid, right? In the Agatha show, we got the kid, teen. In this one, we got Victor, Vic, who he was about to kill, and he spared him. Now, I wonder if Victor, what's the guy's name? Victor Zsasz, the Batman villain. I wonder if this dude is basically going to turn into that. Is this a new origin for that character?
Possibly. I mean, Batman brings out, the worst in so many people.
Absolutely.
I mean, he literally created most of the villains, the super villains in Gotham.
Absolutely.
To the point where it's like, are there actually any like street thugs?
No.
And if they are, they're working for the supervillains.
Right. Right. And that's the story that we see done so well in The Long Halloween, where it goes from street thugs to supervillains from the beginning of that story, the Falcones, the Maronis, and then by the end of it, it's the Jokers, the Two-Faces. They've overcome, which it seems like that's the overarching story that maybe Matt Reeves is telling us here,
right?
Because in the Batman, the Falcones are running everything. Penguin's real street level, Joker's in jail, and Riddler's just like some psychopath.
Right.
They're not really running shit, but it looks like with Penguin moving up the ranks and whoever they introduced in Batman 2, I think by the time we're done with this trilogy, it will be where, the supervillains have overtaken the crime guys, I guess.
I'm thinking that possibly in all comics, the superheroes create the villains.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you're going to have people doing bad stuff, but they get to the point where it's like, okay, in order for me to rob this bank, I need to have special weapons and a special suit. And then they go get this stuff or they create this stuff. Now they're above the regular criminal. Now they're on some superheroes thing, and then they go back and forth, back and forth. So now he defeated me. I got to build stronger shit. You know, he comes back. Oh, he defeated me. I got to build more stronger shit. And then other people see that. It's so I'm thinking these heroes are creating the criminals.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Tony Stark. Most of his villains are people he's created.
Yep.
Years later, come back for revenge because Tony, you know, bumped into me at a party one time, or he didn't give me a grant, or he didn't do that. I mean,
right.
It was,
or his missiles landed in my backyard.
That too.
which seems to be most of the stuff.
I mean, we talking about Wanda. That's her origin in the MCU.
Right.
The Stark bomb blew up her house, killed her family, which is why in Age of Ultron they were after. So yeah, I mean, in Joker, Batman, that's always been the dynamic there.
Right.
You know, he falls in the vat of chemicals. You ever think, like, you know, in Gotham, maybe you guys should just cover the chemicals better? You know, like,
right?
They all these open vats everywhere. Like, is that,
you know, Matt Murdock, going down the street with vatas, crap,
same thing there. Yeah.
It's like just get rid of chemicals.
Maybe just cover this shit. You know, I mean, like they got to have covers for them, right? Or maybe fence it off or something. I don't know. Jeez, like never thought of that. You know, but yeah, the one thing I didn't like the casting choice behind Maroni.
Okay.
The dude in jail, like, he doesn't feel like a mob guy.
He feels like somebody that's trying to be bad.
Yeah.
You know?
It wasn't – I didn't like it at all. I wish they would have recast it, I wish they didn't cast that individual.
Right. I mean, if everybody in the show was, you know, at the Penguin level good acting or the Colin Farrell level – then you'd be like, damn, I don't know who to pay attention to. You got to have somebody that's not quite as good.
Yeah.
Or quite don't fit, you know?
Yeah, well, he don't fucking fit, so, yeah. But I guess I'll try to get past it. I'll do my best. You know, I don't want to, you know, insult the actor or anything. God forbid.
Well, maybe he'll pull a Gyllenhaal and get shivved in prison or something and go away.
One can only hope. One can only hope. But then, you know, I like that twist at the end where they set up the Maronis to be, you know, fall guy, and the ring that Oz gives them. It's like perfect.
Oh yeah.
So it definitely makes you look at the Penguin character in a different light.
Yep. That's some chess playing right there.
Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, I'm here for it. And now, do you like, you know, Agatha versus Penguin? Agatha episodes are like 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes.
Right.
Penguins are over an hour.
Right.
Do you have a preference?
I think for the shows, the times are appropriate.
It makes sense. Yeah.
I would not want to watch an hour-long Agatha.
No, God, no.
And I don't think that they would be able to convey in a Penguin the things they want to convey in 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Because remember, it said the timestamp says 41 minutes. But you got a couple of minutes of intro, and then you got like 13 minutes at the end of credits.
Yeah.
So it's really like a 30-minute, 29-minute show, Agatha.
Yeah.
Right?
And Penguin, I mean, is over an hour, the time run. So it's right about an hour, the actual show. Yeah. No, that's a good point. I do think, Penguin, they wouldn't be able to tell that story in 30, 40 minutes.
Speaking of Agatha, or did we cover the point where I was going to be like, who talks like that? Anyway.
You do.
There was a point where she said that nobody really dies.
Oh, yeah.
So I like right in the beginning, and she kind of winked. Yep. So I took that as like a Wanda thing, you know. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up before I forgot about it.
No, and it's just so, I don't know if they planned this. It's funny that these two shows dropped right at the same time, and they're very similar in the fact that they both are tied to another character that isn't present in this show. But you feel the presence, but it's not overwhelming.
Right.
Like, you feel the presence of Wanda in this show. Like, we talked about the house, right?
Right.
Everyone's afraid to mention her name. We know that she's the reason why Agatha doesn't have her powers right now. But then the story is not tied to Wanda to a T.
Right.
Same thing with the Bat. We know that. We know it's Gotham. We know Batman's there. We know he's got an issue, you know, or had an issue with Penguin early on. But it's not over. It's not distracting.
And they did the opposite of that in Madam Web. I mean, they didn't mention Peter Parker or Ben or May or Spider-Man at all.
Nope.
I mean, they talked up to it, they talked around it, and it was a dud, dude.
Yeah. Yep. It was horrible. So yeah, dude, I'm looking forward to the next episode of Penguin.
Yeah.
And where this thing goes, as they're calling it, the Batman epic crime saga.
What's interesting is that the Penguin show, not that I'm in the Battinson camp, but the Penguin show is actually making me anticipate the next Batman.
Damn.
More.
Okay, you're a Battinson guy.
So I'm not a Battinson guy. I'm just anticipating the next Batman movie more so than I was.
Okay. Well, I got something I'm putting in here for agree to disagree later now. My boy Battinson. Now, yeah, I mean, if I can be any more excited for the Batman 2, I agree. I'm with you. I'm even that much more excited.
Do you think he's going to upgrade the car?
Ooh. No, I hope he doesn't.
Not whether or not you hope.
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to upgrade the car? No?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe we have the Tumblr got it.
Turned into a fucking bicycle.
Right. It got a couple of episodes, a couple of movies out of it before it turned into like the bicycle, right?
Right.
So maybe we get a couple of movies out of the
I don't think he needs to, dude. I like the grounded approach to this. Like, honestly, one of my favorite things about this Batman story is that it's not that established Batman. Right. It's not the, that was like a cop out, I think, with some of the Dark Knight shit was you just have Lucius Fox make whatever you need for the story.
Right.
Like he's hiding a fucking spaceship in an alley. I mean, essentially what it is. Ain't no plane, dude. He's got a damn spaceship that he just hid in the. That's why I love when people are like, well, you don't understand. It's based on realism. Really? Really? So a civilian would be able to just bring his spaceship to the city, park it. No one's going to notice this.
Right.
Park it in between a couple buildings in an alley, and then when all the cops and everybody's chasing him, just hop in that motherfucker and fly off, and nobody's seen this. All those cops.
Right.
But hey, Adrian, it's based in reality. You don't understand. It's over your head.
Yep. Clearly.
Clearly. But anyways, but no, I hope he keeps. I hope he's not flying no spaceships in Batman 2. Right. I hope he keeps the muscle car. And actually, we'll get into this with We Respond. I got some fun comments this week. But all right, moving on. Actually, we're moving on to We Respond, Adrian.
Nice.
So yeah, this will. I don't know if it will be nice. Sometimes it is. Sometimes we have some conversation starters here, and then sometimes we have some individuals that need to get knocked around a little bit. Okay. So.
But that's why they come to us.
That's why.
They let me get my little, few minutes of Mike and Adrian, and then I'm good for the week.
Absolutely, dude.
However they make me feel.
It's all in good fun. and I mean, honestly, like, that's why we said on TikTok last week, watch the YouTube. Because if you watch us just on TikTok, you may think we're upset at you. You may think we're really just having fun. It's like a bunch of guys joking around together, and sometimes your friend says something stupid, and you got to correct them. Yeah. These are our friends. They're saying something stupid. I'm going to fix some of them. But anyways, I Am Schmitty says, thanks for doing Nightwing. So he was the one who suggested Nightwing. Okay. Mm-hmm. Thanks for doing Nightwing for the Hidden Gem and great episode. So we get some nice fans like I Am Schmitty. One Coven says, if they wanted me to watch Agatha, they shouldn't have made me wait almost 4 years. I don't care anymore. Like, what, they got to come out every week or something? Like, I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate here. One Coven. I like to wait 4 years because that means they're gonna make usually a better product. When they rush things out, they're typically bad.
Well, 4 years ago, I would have been, who needs this?
Exactly.
Or why did they bring this out? But it kind of makes sense how they're weaving this thing now.
Absolutely, yeah. So Coven, just be patient, dude. Patience is here. We're also gonna educate people. Okay,
of course.
And this is a food for thought. I like to say.
There you go.
Patience is a virtue. Okay. So, anyways, moving on. What else do we got here? We got Sons of Sekhmet. He says, this is an agree to disagree question. Karnak of the Inhumans, who you've talked about here before, he's a hidden gem. He says, agree to disagree. Karnak would beat Batman in hand-to-hand combat. Do you think so?
Assuming that they met on a street corner at the same time, unprepared. Yes, I would agree to that.
Really?
Because Karnak has a it's not mutant, but a mutagenic ability to identify weaknesses in anything,
Okay.
not only physical things, but even situations. So he can look at Batman, right, and figure out what his weaknesses are and attack that weakness like instantaneously.
Okay.
Whereas Batman would have to figure out Karnak's fighting style and this and that, and he's not going to have the correct weapons on him. So yeah, I think
so.
Yes.
No prep, Karnak beats him.
Correct.
With prep time,
Well, with prep time, Batman beats anybody.
Obviously, yeah. All right, there you have it, Sons of Sekhmet. Brian freaking Vaughn, he asked about a Booster Gold hidden gem. So he says, if you do Booster Gold, please talk about the comic series Time Masters Vanishing Point. So there you go.
Booster Gold is a clown, but it's funny. So like a narcissistic superhero. I mean, powerful, but still like this narcissistic. I mean, you go back in time so that you could be famous because you ain't shit in your own time. I mean, it'll be a good hidden gem.
Sounds based in realism. Sounds like a lot of people would do that. Rust Dog says, love the pod. Y'all are doing such a great job being honest and bringing the people what they want. That's what we do. We bring people what they want. I would like to see you guys talk about your top 3 favorite comic characters. Okay. Mm-hmm. And he says, Adrian should do a hidden gem on his favorite because that man would be so fired up. And also, do you guys like Invincible? So he's got a bunch of stuff. That's a good idea. Do a hidden gem on your favorite. Who's your favorite?
Well, my favorite's behind me
on
the wall.
Iron Man.
As a matter of fact, I was thinking about revisiting that because of the conversation we had with the Hulk Buster.
Yeah.
Hulk Buster.
Okay.
So Iron Man is my favorite. And yes, I do watch The Invincibles.
Yep.
So that's a great show.
Yeah.
Very, very, very graphic. Dude, they're getting graphic with these
cartoons,
these animations.
Yeah.
I don't want to call them cartoons because these little fruity magical things are cartoons.
Okay.
Animated
shows
are, like the Superman, like the Marvel DC things.
Yeah.
Then we got the tear up, you go to the Japanese animation.
Yep.
To me, that's top notch.
Okay.
So I put them in different categories. But yes, I do watch The Invincibles.
I started it. I saw like one episode. I liked it. It's just the only reason I haven't watched it is there's so much other shit to watch.
Yeah.
But no, I liked it and I will eventually revisit it. That's a good idea though. You do a hidden gem on your favorite. There's a lot of stuff people don't know about Iron Man.
A lot.
What else we got here? So we have Paul says, am I the only person that loved the Dark Knight trilogy equally? Dark Knight Rises, and I think both Justice Leagues are dog shit. I think you are the only person that loves the Dark Knight trilogy equally. Yeah, I think most people agree that this middle one is the best.
Right.
So yeah, I think you're all alone, Paul. No, there's probably some other people out there. Let's see. He said, this other guy doesn't even have a name. He says, calling Bruce Wayne the Mask and Batman the real identity is such pedestrian surface level analysis. Read more comics. It's more complicated than that. It's really not.
It's not.
It's not. It's pretty simple.
Not at all.
And I guess what we do here is we simplify the confusion, Adrian. Because here's why it's simple. Batman is who he really is. His whole mission, his whole vendetta, if you will, is to rid the Gotham streets of crime,
right?
To prevent what happened to him to others, correct?
Whether he's suited up or not, day or night.
Yep. Bruce Wayne is not who he wants to be. He does not. That's the difference. I think one of the biggest differences between Tony Stark and Bruce Wayne. Tony is the playboy.
Right.
He wants to. He's Tony Stark.
Right.
Iron Man's the costume he puts on, and he's still Tony Stark when he's Iron Man.
Exactly.
Batman is like, I don't have any interest in going to this stupid party. Bruce Wayne doesn't even really drink.
Right.
That's one thing I loved about The Dark Knight, the little nuances where, Christian Bale, he's got the alcohol and he just dumps it over the edge because and then he pretends to be drunk, They
even bring that out in like animations where Gordon, they sit down at lunch or something.
Yeah.
He's like, all these years you've been drinking ginger ale.
Yes.
Things like that. So
absolutely. And that's why, going back to the Batman, my boy Pattinson, why I feel like it's such a true to comic Batman is they do everything a lot slower in this universe, right? We see a longer period of time where Bruce Wayne doesn't want to do anything Bruce Wayne related.
Right.
Alfred's got the damn meetings happening at the house because Bruce won't even go to the fucking office.
Right.
Like, to me, that's Batman. That's who he is. That Bruce Wayne identity is a facade.
Bruce Wayne to Batman is like his utility belt. He is something. Bruce Wayne is something that Batman puts on in order to be more effective. He needs the money. In order to hold on to the money, he needs to do this other thing.
Right.
So he's just a sleeve on his utility belt.
Yeah. Jorge Munez says, "For this, I can't follow you no more." Bye. I just want to, and the reason I even bring that one up.
For what?
This was for one of the Batman takes. I think something about the Batman being better than something else.
He'll be back.
Yeah, he'll be back. I just wanted, this is going to be a universal statement for everyone here. If you're going to unfollow us on any platform, you don't have to announce it.
Right.
Nobody gives a fuck at all. Don't need to make the announcement. But anyways, let's see. We got we had a lot going on this week, dude. Sopow says, the more I watch the Batman, the more I am sold that it's the best Batman movie. I agree with that. This guy says, I would rather watch Batman and Robin than The Dark Knight.
Wow.
You got to just be trolling, right? Like,
sure.
Batman and Robin. I mean, come on. Ryan says, to me, the detective Batman is boring. Well, I would just say you're probably not a Batman fan then.
Right.
Batman is, I mean, that's who he is.
Right. I mean, he was literally born as, I mean, if the old comics, they have some kind of detective.
Yeah,
as part of, Detective Comics. So, I mean, he's a detective first.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, one of the planet's most brilliant detective, outside of, what's his name, the guy that has no face with the hat.
Doctor Who or something?
No, he's not Doctor. He's part of the Justice League.
No
Name or whatever his name is.
The
Question. I think it's the Question.
Okay. What else we got? Lalo says Game of Thrones is better. I was talking about how good The Sopranos is. You've seen both shows, right?
Wait a minute. What was the comment?
Game of Thrones is better than The Sopranos.
I didn't really get into The Sopranos, and the Game of Thrones was most excellent up until the last episode.
Okay.
And the ice wall really exists.
Dan Kimmel says, just subscribe to your YouTube channel. Love you guys. Love your guys' level-headed take on the comic world. I think that's a pretty accurate. We have a level-headed take. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Let's see. Bruce is definitely the mask. No questions asked. That's also Dark Kimmel. Good job. Or Dan Kimmel. Good job, Dan Kimmel. King Nacho, he agrees with us. Penguin first episode was absolutely amazing. I hope it keeps getting better. I do as well. Christianich, maybe I'm messing that up, says Adam West is the worst Batman voice. I don't agree with that.
Well, apparently, what's his face is the worst Batman voice. Adam West.
Christian Bale. Right?
Christian Bale.
Yeah, obviously.
Adam West. I don't agree with that.
No.
I never thought about people's voice until you start bringing it up. Because
I
look at the actors. George Clooney and Val Kilmer are probably the worst representation of Batman I've seen, but I can't tune in on the voice. So.
Okay. We were talking last week about John Turturro, how he was recasted in the Penguin, right? We were joking about, like, what the hell else is he doing?
Right.
But if you remember, Adrian, I said, we're talking all this shit, but imagine if he's, like, in a bigger role or doing something.
Right.
Which some of our friends here on TikTok confirm that he's filming a show called Severance, which I guess he stars in, and then according to everyone who commented, said it's a really good show. But some of them got pretty upset. One of them said the funniest part is he's actually is doing something better, Severance. Seriously, Google is free. And then Maddie says, never mind the fact that they had to point out he's not an A-lister. They basically said he had nothing better to do. And they go on and on. Now, Maddie was joking. He's like, dude, I'm just joking too. So, like, we could joke around.
Sure.
And this is the last time I will say anything like this on this show. Moving forward, if you confuse anything we say, that's your own fault.
Right.
We do joke a lot.
Right.
It's really the whole premise of this show. I don't even like to call it a podcast. Is It's two guys who get together once a week and bullshit.
Exactly.
And we just happen to bullshit around comics.
Exactly.
Right? I think John Turturro is a phenomenal actor.
Yep.
Now, I'm not throwing shade at him when I say he's not an A-lister. He's not an A-lister.
No.
A-listers are like Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert Downey Jr., Hugh Jackman, if you will. Like the A-listers are not. He's B-list, phenomenal actor. So he, kudos to John Turturro. He is doing something bigger and better than the Penguin. But there's no reason to get upset. Everybody just calm down, relax. As the kids like to say now, touch grass. Okay? Touch grass.
What does that even mean, dude? Come get back to reality or something like that? Okay.
Yes. Like get out of your house, get out of your mom's basement, okay? Exit the building, maybe with some sunglasses because you probably haven't been outside in weeks.
Right.
And just go touch grass. Come back to reality with the rest of us, Chris Renner says Jensen Ackles as live-action Red Hood and Alan Richardson as Batman. I'd be down with that. Jensen Ackles, Soldier Boy from The Boys, and then Alan Richardson's your guy from Reacher.
Yeah,
he could.
Alan Richards would be awesome.
He's a good Batman, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Could be a slightly older Batman.
Yeah,
kind of established one.
He actually has the build that you would expect either in a Batman or a Superman.
Correct. Yeah. So hey, Chris, I'd be down with that. Last one. This guy, Johnny Bravo. So he commented on our video where we were talking about the Batman. And he says, you guys keep pushing the Batman with Pattinson. The movie is woke garbage. He doesn't even like being Batman. Evil white man is bad. The part of the bigger woke agenda. The screenwriters even admit. Now, this dude, I would just say, bro, don't watch comic book stuff then. You know what I mean? Like, there's this whole when people don't like something, there's a trend now, Adrian. They call it woke. Now, you hear the term woke. What does that mean to you?
On the surface, to me, it means you're now aware of something that you weren't before.
Yep.
Like when Neo got out the Matrix.
Yes.
I am aware that the Matrix exists.
Right.
And I am in it.
Yep. So now I've woke.
Right. Now I'm woke.
And I think that was the original usage definition, but now it's turned more into like if you point out social injustice or something, you're now woke, right? Like if I say, like, there's people that are racist. You ever know that?
Yeah.
Now I'm woke because I brought attention to it. You're bringing attention to social justice issues. So that's what they say about like filmmakers. Like, oh my God, they made this character gay. So now they're woke. Like, first of all, who gives a shit? Who really cares?
Well, Jack Snyder must be really woke because he just dropped an animation on Netflix.
Yep.
They got
mythology
trans,
one, right?
They got bis, they got threesomes, they got full nudity. He's woke.
He's woke.
So
now you as a fan, you're a straight married guy.
Yep.
When you watch that, does that bother you?
Not at all.
Who cares? They're characters, right? Yep. Who gives a shit?
Right.
Now this guy, he kept going on this rant, and they always do this. They bring kids into it. They're trying to sexualize things for kids. Okay. And his thing was in the Batman, Selena Kyle is bi. When is she ever bi in the comics? Well, she is at times. Now, I didn't get a big bisexual vibe from her in that movie. Did you? I mean, she didn't.
No, not at all.
Now, I know she had the roommate, right?
Right.
And she kept calling her girl. So you could maybe assume that maybe,
she kept calling her girl?
Yeah, my girl, on the one who was, but.
Girls do that.
Exactly.
They call their friends my girl or whatever.
So let's just assume that maybe he's right. Maybe they're bi. But if your child, and his point is, well, kids are going to see this and, maybe they're going to turn gay. Oh, my God.
Well, first of all, humans are sexual beings to begin with.
There you go.
I mean, maybe your mom and dad was, or maybe you were born from a rock. I don't know, but they had to smash in order to have your dumb ass.
It's usually how it works.
So you don't need to expose kids to something. First of all, they're gonna find it themselves.
Correct.
And if they don't, the 5% of the time that you spend with them, and then 95% of the time they spend it, with their teachers and everybody else, they're gonna show them.
Absolutely.
So
it's also a PG-13 movie. So you're not bringing 4-year-olds in here and go, hey, what? And you're like, of all the things that happen in this movie, we've seen people killed in this movie.
Yep.
Right? We've seen people fight. We've seen people call each other names. We've seen people use bad language words.
Oh, my God.
the one thing that you're picking out is my kid's gonna watch Selena Kyle and her roommate, and then they might be gay.
Oh my God!
So you're not worried about them watching a man kill another man. Right. It's just like the funny things that people pick out. And my suggestion would be, dude, then move on from this genre.
Well, he's not woke. He's sleep. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
dude.
For real. But I thought of, and it's not just this one guy, because there's a group of people that believe that they force these things. Now, the way we understand the term woke, I would argue that comics have always been woke.
Sure.
I mean, going back, was Captain America not created during, what was it, World War II?
Yep.
When we were fighting with Germany, and in the comics, he's fighting Nazis.
Yep.
Now, if woke is bringing attention to social injustice, I would assume that we would all agree that what the Nazis were doing, there was injustice there. So they brought attention to it.
Yep. Spider-Man was created to bring attention to the angst of regular kids, regular people. Like probably the number 2 most popular character in comics, besides Batman being 1 and Spider-Man being 2, probably. A lot of stuff was brought. A lot of characters were created.
Your favorite Iron Man,
right? Exactly,
was created during the Vietnam War.
Yep. A lot of things were created to bring attention to social injustices. There's X-Men. All kinds of stuff.
Literally, if you ever. And the funny thing is, you're talking about a genre where one of the creators, Stan Lee, a lot of what he talked about and stood for were like social injustice issues.
Absolutely.
When he created the X-Men, it was to be almost an analogy for the civil rights movement,
right,
and the conflict, with Germany. Like, tell both of what oppressed people go through, right, regardless of their nationality or race. This is what the mutants were oppressed.
Right.
Society treated them like a lower class citizen.
Right.
So comics have always been woke.
Yep.
Now, the statement that a lot of people say now is, they're too woke. I would disagree. I don't think they're too woke. I think that's what this genre has been used for. And, dude, I don't think if you watch, first of all, someone being gay or trans don't bother me. Like, I'm me. I make my own choices. Whatever you do, that's on you.
Right. I mean, there's so many genres of entertainment.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that there's so many genres of comics or so many genres of movies, there's so many genres of entertainment. If something bothers you to the point that you got to make comments of like that, won't just go pick something else to entertain yourself with? Not even watch or read or, electrode yourself, whatever. Just pick something else to entertain yourself. Yeah. Why be an asshole about something that you're not going to change, number one? And I don't believe there's such thing as being too woke.
No.
I mean, you can always expose information to people, but then you get, dicks like this.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh, well, I'm just going to take this information and I'm going to spin it in my own individual way. And then I'm going to use whatever platform I have to try to convince everybody in the universe of my very narrow focused opinion.
Yep.
So you're not fun with Mike and Adrian.
No, you're not.
Because we just sitting around bullshitting about something that doesn't even exist.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
You're trying to skew somebody else's opinion about how you think.
Right.
I don't get it.
Dude, it's also like maybe you haven't had these experiences, right? But doesn't mean someone else hasn't.
Right.
And doesn't mean that you can't learn about them through genres like comics. Exactly. Maybe you've never felt oppression before.
Right.
But you can watch this and maybe sympathize with someone that's gone through something like that. Or you can just shut the fuck up and enjoy it.
Right.
And
I will put a disclaimer, is like everything I've said up until this point, I have the right to change my mind tomorrow.
Next week, you're like, yo, this is just way too woke, man. Shut it down. No more. But no, I don't believe it's too woke. I also don't believe that movies and things like that are going to have that type of influence on children if you raise your own kids right.
Absolutely.
Because
as soon as you send your kids to school, you've turned over learning to somebody else.
Correct.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah. So what happens a lot of times is people have issues with certain demographics and they hide it behind those statements. Like, you're probably homophobic, so you go, it's too woke. Whatever, dude. Like, get over it. I don't think my daughter watching someone hold hands is going to make her change her sexuality based off of that.
Right.
I also don't think if my son watches Batman kick the shit out of some thug in the alley that he's going to go do that at school tomorrow.
People do understand that kids learn from what they see their parents doing.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So if your kid turns to be homophobic,
yeah,
it's probably because they're watching you.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying.
Yep. Yeah, your kid's running around telling everyone in school they're woke. Dude, the best was he threatened me. He's like, I'm going to go tell. He's like, we'll see what the other parents and comic fans think about this. I'm like, what are you going to go tell on me? He's like, I'm in a group online and I'm going to make a video about you. I'm like, have at it, bro.
Please send 10,000 more people.
That's what I said. Have them subscribe to the channel too, because I don't give a fuck. That's the other thing. Dude, what you'll learn about, hopefully you've learned this about us by now. Dude, I'm at the point, Adrian, where I'm too old to give a shit.
Right.
I don't care about anyone's opinion at all.
So if you are already too old to give a shit, imagine what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, whatever, dude. So there you have that. That's it was a unique We Respond this week. I told you, you might get slapped around a little bit. But you mentioned something. Zack Snyder. Now I saw what is it? Something of the Gods, or what the hell is it called? But I have seen some shit about this show recently. Zack Snyder has an animated series. It's on Netflix, right?
Right. It's called Twilight of the Gods.
There you go.
It comes when it first opens. It looks like it's going to be like remember Hercules from Disney.
Yep.
The wording and how the artwork. I'm like, dude, this is going to be cheesy. But immediately, that's erased.
Really?
This is, do not watch this with your kids.
Okay.
Do not. From the first episode, do not watch this with your kids.
Damn.
Did I say do not watch this with your kids? So,
but then how can I blame them about being too woke for my kids if I don't make them watch it?
Dude, I don't know, but this has everything in it. It has blood and guts and gore.
Yeah.
It has deep adult conversation. It has full frontal nudity. It has full sex. You got bisexuality. You got transgenders. You got threesomes going on.
Shit.
So
sounds like a Diddy freak off. Is there baby oil involved in this shit or no?
I don't think they had it back then.
They didn't have it.
Maybe some tree sap or something. But I don't know about baby oil. But no, it's but the movie's good though.
Yeah.
Despite all of that stuff.
How many episodes?
I think there's probably 8 or 9.
Okay.
First season.
Got it. And it's based on Norse mythology, right? Like Thor, Loki.
Dude, so Thor, it made me realize. Have you heard of Titan Hulk?
No.
I got to do that as a hidden gem. So it made me realize that Thor. Remember when Odin asked when Thor lost something, he was like, and Odin was like, dude, are you the god of hammers or are you the god of
thunder? It was
thunder,
Thor Ragnarok.
Thunder, lightning, right?
When his sister crushed Mjolnir.
Right.
Which is right behind Adrian right there. Look at that.
She didn't crush it. She teleported it here.
Okay, yes.
So Thor is so Zack Snyder's version of Thor. First of all, he's a psycho in this show. But the way he uses his power, dude, I have like so much more respect for Thor's powers and abilities, because Zack Snyder portrays them as so much more, and it makes sense the way he did it. But it makes him so much more powerful, and he has what looks like a Stormbreaker kind of helmet, hammer, as opposed to a Mjolnir.
Okay.
In this show.
Got it.
So, but authentic. Before I even got into comics, I was into mythology.
Yeah.
All kinds of mythology, everything from African to Greek to Norse. Norse and Greek was my two favorites. It's only because there's access to more. They don't want to have African mythology out there. Learn about some stuff. But anyway, so this was like right down my alley, dude. I think it's a great adult show. And I have to finish up the last episode. I literally just sat down and watched this thing. Yeah.
Nice. I'll have to check it out. So, we talk a lot of shit about Zack Snyder on here, but here we are. You're giving him props, Adrian.
I was surprised. And they did have some slow motion moments in it.
Wait, he's got slow mo even in the animation.
Even in the animation,
That
but
is
it's a cool slow mo though, and it's not as long as the Superman stuff.
Damn, that's just some slow moing motherfucker, aren't you, bro? It's like Wedding Crash. You a motorboating son of a bitch, aren't you? Yeah, right. Just a slow motion son of a bitch, Zack Snyder.
But that show is actually more graphic than, I don't know if you've ever seen the Blue-Eyed Samurai, which I also think is on Netflix. Yeah, that's another. I mean, so this is a trend. Yeah. In animation, not cartoons. No, this is definitely animation.
Mickey Mouse.
And it's definitely for adults. So please, again, don't think that you're gonna sneak in and watch a piece of an episode with your kids, because you might see something, or your kid might see something that you don't want that person to see.
Yep. Gotcha. Well, dude, in other news, I will definitely check this out. Talking about animation and cartoons, Batman the character is the first superhero character to receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. They did this past week. Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
There's other fictional characters like the Mickey Mouses, people like that. There's a handful.
Sure.
But there's 2,790 stars. Most of them are actors. So Adam West has a star. Mm-hmm. Batman's star is right next to Adam West's star, and also Batman's co-creator Bob Kane. So that's pretty cool, dude. They gave Batman. I mean, Batman deserves a star.
Sure. So how do they do that? Do they I mean, I always thought they just picked a piece of concrete and stamped the thing in it. So to get Adam West next to Batman, or Batman next to Adam West, what do they do? Like, pull up somebody's piece of concrete and move it and bring his over and dump it down? Or
unless they just had the spot I don't know. They must have them spaced out enough. I mean,
like cemetery, they have plots.
Yes. you get plots, dude. And I don't know. There's a whole process with, you got to get nominated by a group, and then almost like Hall of Fame for like sports, where people, I guess, vote on it or whatnot. But dude,
very cool.
What's cool about it too is,
wait a minute, Spider-Man doesn't have one?
Nope.
He's number 2 in the universe.
I know. Batman's the only one. Now this is what kind of, it didn't shock me, but it just made me happy, Adrian. Think about this fact here. Superman was created before Batman.
Right.
They're both DC. And Batman got a star before Superman.
And Superman's own son loves Batman more than his own dad.
Absolutely. And I think Lois Lane might like Bruce Wayne a little more than Clark Kent,
Bruce Wayne, well, Batman and Bruce Wayne, they both get around.
They do.
Wonder Woman's on that too.
Yep. Damn. Yep. Bruce he might be having some freak offs too. You never know. In Hush,
got that warehouse full of baby oil.
Yeah. We know he didn't get it from Costco though. We have confirmed that.
No, he just make his own.
Yes.
Or have Lucius make it.
Yep.
Oh, Lucius. How diddly does that name sound?
That's the other stuff, by the way. Right. But yeah, Superman, no walk of whatever it's called, Hollywood Walk of Fame, no star. Batman got one first, as he should. I think that's much deserved.
I would agree with that.
All right, moving on, Adrian. Hidden gem. So we've had it's almost like we have a request line.
Right?
We should get a phone line. You call, request your hidden gem.
There you go.
But hey, keep them coming. I mean, you like when these guys suggest the hidden gems, right? I mean, it makes less work for you, right?
Right. Well, I mean, the thing about it is that there's so much stuff that I've consumed over the last 40 years, dude. I've forgotten about a lot of this stuff, and the fans bring this stuff out.
They do.
So, Woke Boy, please get upset and go to your group and send 10,000 more people this way so we can get even more suggestions.
He said there's 900,000 people in this group. Like, dude, okay, send them our way.
Exactly. Would love it.
Yep.
So this week's hidden gem was a suggestion. And I thought it was pretty cool. Speaking of Norse mythology and Thor, this is Beta Ray Bill.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So I chose Beta Ray Bill because he is an awesome Thor. And a lot of people don't know that there's a Thor, like the Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah.
There is a Thor Corps.
Which we see a little bit in Secret Wars. Right. The second one. Remember when they go to Battle World, there's that one issue where it's the Thor Corps. Yep.
So Beta Ray Bill was he's a Corbinite, whole nother planet, universe, all that kind of stuff, and he was his planet was attacked And it also ties into Ragnarok because there's this villain that had to Surtur. He had to create this soul sword, and in order to do that, he apparently had to destroy an entire universe to do it. Right?
Yeah, why not?
So, he's
a what? A core what?
Corbinite.
So he's not a horse like I called him last week?
No. That's the transformation part.
Okay.
So he's a Corbinite, Korbin.
Okay.
ITE. So anyway, so the planet was under assault, imminent event, which means they was going to wipe out the entire planet. So what the Corbinites did was, and obviously they're technologically more advanced than Earth.
Yeah.
So what they did was they chose a herald per se, or a champion amongst their people, to protect them. So they chose this guy, Beta Ray Bill, to be that protector. So they basically transformed him into a cyborg, right? But during this transformation, he's the only one that survived being transformed into a cyborg. Part of that transformation was apparently looking like a horse. So he became this cyborg. He was paired with this ship. Think of Mother Box, which is a living AI.
Wait, do we know what he looked like before the transformation?
Yeah, he was humanoid.
Okay.
Bald-headed, kind of unlike a warrior, but which is hence the transformation. So he wasn't a gladiator kind of guy who went through training to became even more of a badass. He was just a regular citizen, and they needed to transform him in order to take up this task. Okay. Which was ushering so Scuttlebutt, which is a AI, which is in everything, all their tech. It's like a Jarvis.
Okay.
So they built this ship. Scuttlebutt was in it. They put all the people. It was thousands of ships actually, in stasis, and Beta Ray Bill as a cyborg was in Scuttlebutt, and they was ushering them the people from that planet to find a new home, right? So that was his task, to protect them during the transit, of which there was many encounters, right? So as they were coming, and somehow they got coursed into coming to Earth, and Scuttlebutt did anyway, and S.H.I.E.L.D. saw it, Nick Fury, and Nick Fury sent Thor. Yeah. Now, this is why it's so cool that other people are suggesting hidden gems, because I forgot that Thor, in order for Thor to enter Earth, he actually entered Earth through a doctor back in the day. The doctor had a cane, and in order to change into Thor, he had to hit the cane on the ground or something hard, and he transformed it into Thor. Okay. It wasn't like Thor coming down from Asgard the way he showed it in the movies. Yeah. He actually transformed from a human into Thor. Okay. So Thor met up with Scuttlebutt, attacked Beta Ray Bill in his cyborg form, right? They fought. He basically separated Mjolnir from Thor. Thor turned back into this Blake guy, which is the human version, right? Oh yeah. And he was like, well, this warrior, where is he? Number one, and also where's the hammer? Oh, there's this stick. So he picks the stick up and just hit it against the wall, and he turned into the Thor version of the Beta Ray Bill version of Thor. Got it. Right. So because he beat Thor's ass, as a cyborg, so Odin brought them both to Asgard. And some say, Odin fixed, that's later on. So anyway, Beta Ray Bill being a warrior, he's like, listen, I won this, I won Mjolnir fair and square. I want to keep it because I need to protect my people. I need to usher them to a new planet kind of a deal. Yeah. And Odin was like, okay, well, you two are warriors. I'm going to put you someplace. You guys are going to fight. And whoever wins. And some say that Beta Ray Bill, his planet is like a warm climate, so he thrives in heat. So guess where Odin sends him, right? To some place where it's like extremely hot. So Thor has a disadvantage. Beta Ray Bill has an advantage. And some say it was done intentionally because Odin wanted to teach Thor a lesson. Now, the end of this, Beta Ray Bill, to win, had to kill Thor. One person had to kill the other one in order to win, right? But Beta Ray Bill decided, even with his advantage, he didn't want to kill Thor. Okay. So he brought him back, and Odin did not give him Mjolnir, obviously. He gave it back to Thor, but he did create Stormbreaker for Beta Ray Bill, which is what he was carrying.
So in the comics, Beta Ray Bill has Stormbreaker first?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yep. It was made for him.
Wow.
Specifically for him by Odin, because he didn't want to give Mjolnir to directly to him, because they would have left Thor without a hammer.
Right. And we know how he gets when he can't find his hammer.
Exactly. You know? Exactly. So he becomes Beta Ray Bill, and because he has such a relationship with Asgard, he defends Thor. You know, he's at his side. He's like his brother. Thor, as he becomes All-Father Thor, he eventually takes over for Odin, gets all of his power. Beta Ray Bill becomes Thor's, his general in his army, things like that. So they have all these adventures and things like that. So but the thing about it is that Beta Ray Bill, when you look at his power set, so first of all, if you take away the hammers, right?
Yeah.
He's as strong but certainly more durable than Thor, right? But so he has Thor's powers, right? The lightning, the superhuman this and the superhuman that. But his cyborg parts give him an advantage over Thor. And also because he's from Corbinite, he automatically because it's a different atmosphere, he also is more denser than like a regular human or even Thor. I mean, this dude can just go and take a nap on the inside of a sun. It won't bother him. Yeah. He's had planets destroyed around him. He doesn't even notice. So even though his power level, as far as bench pressing, is on par, and Thor is probably class 95 tons, 100 tons. Even though he's on par with Thor at the bench press level, he's more durable than Thor. Okay. Right. And of course, he has all the same godlike powers because of Stormbreaker as Thor. Yeah. Without the hammer, athletic level, superhuman speed, this and that, so on and so forth. But with Stormbreaker, obviously, he's doing faster than light travel, things like that. So, very interesting character. Again, on par with Thor, but his cybernetic and the planet that he came from, his cyborg parts give him an advantage over Thor to some degree. Yeah. Now, when Thor ascended to All-Father, it was a whole different match. So you got Thor going up against his dad, if you want to imagine that. So there is no match there. But at the time, definitely a match for Thor, if not more so. He beat his ass twice. Yeah. On Scuttlebutt and in Asgard or wherever Odin sent him. Damn. So that's this week's Hidden Gem. Beta Ray Bill, very cool character. Definitely something that and some fun facts. The author, when he created him, he was going to name him Beta Ray Jones, but he just looked around and there was too many Joneses already in comics, so he named him Beta Ray Bill. But then there's a Alpha Bill. Is it Beta Ray? So Alpha Ray. Then there's an Omega Ray. Because during his adventures, Beta Ray Bill was off doing stuff for Asgard, and who was it? Galactus came in. They eventually did find another planet. Galactus came and ate that one. Yeah. And so as a result, because Beta Ray was off with Thor, they had to make this the guard from their original core. This Alpha Ray, but the process messed his head up, so he was kind of tweaked out. Okay. So unstable. Yeah. So there was that guy. So there was all of these different people that was involved in protecting the planet while he was off, doing whatever he was doing. So a lot of interaction, a lot of made for a very interesting character, but whoever went through that process ended up with the horse face. Yeah. So
okay,
I don't know why they chose that, but it was what it was.
Maybe they were trying to compete with Mr. Ed back in the day. Remember Mr. Ed?
I do. I do.
Beta Ray Bill, another great hidden gem, Adrian, and that was I forget who suggested that. Maybe it was Sons of Segment. I don't know. It was one of our, but we appreciate the suggestions. Keep them coming.
Absolutely.
I'm intrigued now to see who you're going to pick next week, doing all these suggestions. And I've not read a lot with Beta Ray Bill in it, but I do remember him in Secret Wars in the he was part of that Thor core in that one issue. And yeah, he was a badass in that comic as well.
Right. To me, Beta Ray Bill is as impressive, if not more so, than the other hidden gem, Gladiator.
Okay,
he just comes out of the woodwork and just surprises you with, how powerful he is, but also the hard part, you know.
Dude, speaking of Gladiator, he was in X-Men 97, right? Yep. We saw him in that one episode. Dude, Beau Demayo still talking about this fucking show. Still,
really?
Now I saw some. I didn't include this in the news because I don't want to give him that kind of shine, But he said that Marvel basically rejected his plan for Onslaught, so he wanted to have Onslaught in like the second or third season of this show. Yeah, which I mean, we talked about this when we saw the end of X-Men 97, that it seemed like maybe they were going to go in that direction with the Charles and the but I also think that it's probably too soon. Like, there's so many – I feel like a lot of times with stories, sometimes they try to go too big too fast. Like, there's so much more to be told in the X-Men before we need to bring in Onslaught. Like, they just brought in Apocalypse. Right. You could have Apocalypse for two seasons. Right. And then some, because of how important he is of a villain. So I just thought it was funny that he's mad that bro, you're fired. Right. That'd be like you get fired from your job and you hear about all the shit that's going on and you get mad. Like, I can't believe they changed that. Like, bro, you don't work here anymore. Right. Like, we can't have water breaks anymore. Motherfucker, you don't work here. It don't matter.
Staying relevant.
Yeah.
He's trying to he's got something that potentially can give him, something that gave him 15 minutes of fame, and he's trying to make it 19 minutes. Yep. So, I mean, or bring attention to his
OnlyFans. Yeah.
Right.
That's when I was done when he's like, if you want me to tell, you want to know more about the true story, sign up for my OnlyFans. Like, dude, I don't want to sign up for your OnlyFans. I'm not gonna, and I don't care about the story that much. So.
You're no longer comic book relevant.
Nope. And that's not the other stuff that we talk about here. It doesn't fall in that bucket. So, moving on, Adrian. Agree to disagree. This is as we say in show business. We're getting ready to take this thing home. Okay. So this is where I rapid fire a handful. I got 8 this week. 8 of my opinions at this moment. It's like that disclaimer you always say. I have the right to change my mind, even as I say these.
Right.
I may go, I disagree with my own statement. I don't know.
There you go.
But I made these up. Not made these up. I came to these, this, I guess, where I'm at with these opinions as of today. Okay. So that could change. But I'm going to rapid fire these out. You're going to let me know if you agree or disagree. I won't be offended either way. I won't go talk to you about you in a TikTok group. I won't do anything like that. I won't go tell other parents, as my buddy on TikTok said. I'll ask you why you disagree, and we'll have a conversation about it.
Right.
But I won't be offended. So, are you ready?
Ready.
Number 1, Deadpool and Wolverine is better than The Dark Knight Rises.
Agree.
Deadpool and Wolverine is better than Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Agree.
Who they just passed on the billboard. So have that, you stupid dinosaurs. The Sopranos is the greatest show of all time.
I disagree.
Pattinson is the best on-screen Batman ever.
I disagree.
See, I'm not mad, even though you're wrong about that one. Comics are not too woke. In fact, they've always been woke.
I agree.
Thunderbolts is a prediction. The Thunderbolts will be better than both Suicide Squad movies.
I agree.
The
commercial is better than both Suicide movies.
Damn. A Death in the Family should be adapted in live action.
I agree.
And last but not least, Pattinson would beat the shit out of Christian Bale's Batman.
I disagree.
Damn. Even with that weird fighting and all that shit.
That's only during the day. And also, Christian Bale's Batman is more established.
He is.
He's older, more established, got more toys.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, well, he does have more tech, so he'll cheat, is what you're saying. Yeah.
Is it cheating or is it incorporating a fighting style?
Depends on what side you're on.
Right.
That's like, NFL fans. Like, if their team wins, they're great. If they lose, dude, the NFL's rigged. And those damn refs, I'll tell you what. But when they win, it's like, no, it's perfect. Maybe there's a little bit of truth on both sides. Who knows?
The NFL and wrestling, same thing.
Yeah, pretty much nowadays. Now, I'm not surprised you disagreed about The Sopranos, because you said you never really did a deep dive into that show. But if
so just so everybody understands, if I've not seen it, I cannot rate it. So therefore, it's probably a negative or positive depending on the question.
Yep. Okay. But what do you have a show that, like, if I said, Adrian, favorite show, one of the best shows, give me a great show to watch. Is there one or a handful that stick out to you?
Not really. I mean, there's some good shows. Where's the one that I saw Anthony Starr for the first time? I can't think of it. He came into town. He was like a crook, and somehow the sheriff got killed. He took the identity of the sheriff.
Never seen it. It's an older show?
Yeah. The Boys come to mind.
Yep.
Breaking Bad.
Is it Banshee?
Banshee.
Okay.
Yep. Very good show.
Yeah, you're a big Breaking Bad fan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they always seem to mess up the very last
That's
one,
my
dude.
yep.
It's like, come on, man.
It went on one season too long.
It went on one season too long. I absolutely agree.
Like the Gus Fring character, Giancarlo, who's going to be in the Captain America Brave and the Bold movie, or Brave and the Bold, Brave New World. Everyone's brave now.
Right.
Brave. But anyways, he's going to be in that. But yeah, his villain, that's part of my issue with Breaking Bad, because a lot of people are like, well, Breaking Bad's better than The Sopranos. No, it's not. You watch your dirty mouth. But the thing about it is, if it ended in that season before the last one, right, I'd listen to that argument a little more, because that villain in the last season, the guy's cousin, or I don't even remember the guy's fucking name, was just he was just mid.
Right.
Gus Fring was like the man, dude. They shouldn't have killed him in that season. They should have killed him in the last season.
Yep.
So yeah, I do think it went on. You watch Ozark? Jason Bateman.
I started watching it. It was actually a good show.
Yeah.
It's just like you said, there's so much other stuff to watch.
Yeah. And that's another one that went on too long. The last season, it's one of those things where, like, I understand their shows and understand that for the plot, certain things need to happen to make sense and blah, blah, blah. But it just seemed like they would get in these messes and everything would just turn out perfectly. It was just too much. Like, we've seen this already.
Yeah.
Again, went on a little too long, But
what was the movie in Philly? They were on the docks. You mentioned it once before.
Sure, it was Philly. The Wire?
The Wire.
Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore.
Yep,
that was a good show.
That is a really good show. And that one's up there. Like, there's some people said, like, and that I listen to that argument. Hey, Wire, Soprano. I mean, they're both up there. Yeah. But yeah, The Wire was a really good show. What was cool about The Wire was there wasn't necessarily a main character. The city was kind of the main character. Right. Like, there were some episodes where they focused more, like, I think the first season was more about the cops, and then there was other seasons where they focused more on the drug dealers, and there was some where it was more on, like, the crackheads, like, or the dope fiends. But that is a really good show. Yeah. You ever watch Oz? Jail show on HBO?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That one was like, wow. That's when they first started coming out with these, like, heavy drama, like, in your face kind of shows. Yeah, Oz was like,
dude, I mean, when you think about it, a lot of these shows that we're naming are HBO. Right. HBO's got a history of making some. I mean, and the Penguin's on HBO now.
Are you saying that HBO is woke?
I think they're too woke, man. Yep, they're too fucking woke, bro. They're tainting all the kids. They're ruining the kids.
Right.
Like, just take your fucking tinfoil hat off, calm down, and as the kids say, and I think it's like a good way to wrap this thing up, Adrian. Touch grass.
Touch grass.
Yeah. When you're feeling you're a little upset because people are too woke, what you need to do is take your dumb ass outside and touch some grass. Okay, that's we should get that on Only Comics shirt. Only Comics, touch grass.
There you
go. Speaking of, you can get the Only Comics shirts at onlycomicsmerch.com. So check that out. But Adrian, thanks for coming out, dude.
Absolutely,
fun episode here.
Yeah,
fun with Mike and Adrian.
I feel more woke now.
You feel woke now?
Oh,
yeah. I'm definitely more woke than I was a couple hours ago when we got here. That's for damn sure. Yep. Maybe it's the conversation. Shit, maybe it's my caffeine here. I don't know.
Possibly. But kicking in finally.
Yeah, there you have it. But another fun week. We will be back next week. So next week we'll have another episode of Penguin. You know what I forgot this week?
What's that?
Someone asked us, and I would apologize. I think I let the fans down a little bit. They asked us to rank our top 5 MCU movies. I completely forgot.
Okay.
We can do that by next week.
Yeah.
I think top 5 would be a fun little exercise.
Sure.
So we'll do next week. We got our top 5 MCU movies. Next week we got another episode of The Penguin, another episode of Agatha.
Right.
Also coming up, the Batman. Batman, The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween is a new series that just started in comics. Thing about this, I'm not going to mention them because I don't want to throw any shade because I do love this store, but I went to our local comic shop and they didn't have the fucking new comic. I was going to order it online. And I'm like, no, let me just go. Let me take a trip down to the comic. Remember the days you went to the comic store?
You want to go tactile.
Yeah.
You want to feel the comic, the pages, smell the comic book.
Yes.
See the stupid shit they got on the wall.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I did all that. I went to the Batman section. Nowhere to be found.
Well, at least they had a Batman.
They did have a Batman section. There's a lot of new Batman shit, actually.
Yeah.
So then I asked the cashier who checked me out, and she's like, I said, do you guys have this comic? She goes, was it on the shelf? No. If it was on the shelf, I wouldn't ask you if you had it, Right. And they say, you want me to order it for you? I'm like, no, I can order it myself. So, but I'm going to order The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, first issue, and then maybe we'll do a little review of that here, So, anyways, a lot to look forward to next week. So, Adrian, thanks for coming out.
Absolutely.
Guys, thanks for tuning in. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and you know where to find us every week right here on Only Comics. We'll see you next week.